Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be back on Persistent World and it has been around a month since I uploaded a video on the mod. There are numerous reasons behind this which I'm going to be explaining over the course of this video. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. Ever since the Lannisters have disbanded, the Lorraines seem to have grown bigger. Now that's created many problems, especially for my clan, the House Stark. Now we can pull on around 45 members, 50 if we're very lucky. Now the other day the Lorraines pulled on nearly 80 people, and that is insane. Like, that is a lot of people. That hasn't been done for a very long time. The last time I recall seeing those sort of numbers would have been when the Lannisters were around, and even they would rarely pull on over 70 people. Well, that's through my experience anyway. As I mentioned previously, this created huge problems for the Starks. Now at this point in time, it was just us and the Lorraines on the server. The Cleganes had gone somewhere, not really sure, inactive. The Brandenburgs had moved over to Cronus and then disbanded, and the Lancasters had also disbanded after around a month. This meant there were hardly any clans on the server. Now this created two problems. Now the public players, that are people that aren't in clans, usually would form these huge factions and hold the castle in the center of the map. This would allow them easy access to any of the other clans' castles, which at the time was just us and the Lorraines. These huge factions would then war whichever clan they liked, and then they would just attack over and over again, respawning, attacking again, respawning, attacking again, and we would have to fight off waves and waves, and we wouldn't be able to log off because that would be combat logging and we get banned, and we would actually suffer 8 hours a day sometimes. Obviously, I did not stay on for 8 hours, but some people stayed on for the majority of that time just to fend off these nakeds, as we couldn't afford losing the castle just in case the Lorraines decided to attack us. Now, the second problem was that there were only 2 clans. And when there are only 2 clans, it gets very boring very quickly, just warring the same people day in, day out. And obviously, when you're in the same server every single day with another clan with no other clans to war, tensions begin to rise between the 2 groups. Now, it resulted in things like this. Basically, the Lorraines had just crushed us in a siege. It was even numbers, but they pushed out and crushed our infantry in the field. Now, we had respawned back at our castle and were preparing to get re-geared and then log off. However, the Lorraines did not peace the war. They came to siege our castle when none of us had any gear. And to be fair, I don't blame them because there hadn't been a lot of fighting over the past few weeks and they probably just wanted to kill something. And I don't actually blame them because it was quite fun, especially on the banner point. I somehow survived for a very long time, but that's not the point. The fact is the Lorraines had to siege a castle full of nakeds just because there had hardly been any fighting over the past few weeks. And if you know PW, there's always at least one war per day, and they hadn't had that for a very long time, and I can actually understand why they did it. And this is when the server, in my opinion, had hit an all-time low. Nothing fun was happening anymore. People had to resort to fighting castles filled with nakeds, and they had the freedom to do that because there were no other clans that could attack them while they were attacking us, so they were safe. Now at this point I kind of gave up on the server completely. I rarely came on. I obviously was still around talking to the Starks and everything, but I just wouldn't really play PW. Now a few days later this all changed. The Cleganes returned under the new name of Mercia. Also the Swadians came to the server, and they were actually allied with us. However, we soon learnt that the Mercians and the Lorraines would not be enemies. In fact, I'm pretty sure they had a non-aggression pact, and this created 2 coalition armies, the Starks and the Swadians versus the Lorraines and the Mercians, and it ended up with wars such as this one. A shield wall was set up in the gatehouse. However, this soon parted to let our heavy cavalry through so they could smash into the enemy infantry. The Stark heavy cavalry pushed through, doing as much damage to the Lorraine infantry as possible. The Stark infantry are told to push the Lorraine infantry, and a massive melee begins in the gatehouse. We are then told to withdraw and to hold the gatehouse and not push out any further. few of the Lorraines push through the shield wall, but they are quickly killed. Stark shield wall begins to wear down and more Lorraines pour through, attacking the infantry behind. After holding for a very long time against an increasing number of Lorraines and Mercians, the Stark shield wall breaks and the Lorraine and Mercian infantry begin to push through. Most of the Mercians remain behind to cover the spawn, however their spawn block is quickly broken, but by this time it was too late, the Lorraines had already captured the castle. That was a defeat for the House Stark. Nevertheless, it was a very good fight. We managed to hold off over 100 people for quite a long time. After this battle, an issue was raised by our leadership. They had asked for the help of Swadia, however they hadn't come. They just sat in their castle and watched us get destroyed. And we weren't just going to stand by and let them do that. Now they were our allies, however we decided to teach them a lesson. The intent of attacking our allies was to make sure they would never do anything like this ever again. Our King's Hand decided that we were not going to be nice to them and give them quick deaths. We sent the archers onto the roof above us and the infantry to this little ramp. We'd hold this little ramp and not kill any of them with maces, axes or any melee weapons. Our King's Hand actually wanted to kill every single Swadia using a bow. Now that's quite embarrassing, losing your whole faction to archers. However, it's what they deserved. As you can see, their infantry just fell away, and then the order was given for the infantry to push in and then basically mop up any Swadians that were left over. Obviously, I didn't do that. I made sure I got the best loot possible, and you'll find later I actually found the only set of tin can that they actually had, which was very nice indeed. Tin can is what's known as your mail with surcoats, your brigandes, your kerbulis, all that kind of thing, anything above archer gear. And that's basically what everyone has to wear during these wars. And it also costs quite a lot of money on the map, so it's always quite useful to loot it when possible. This fight against the Swadians was the last action I saw for quite a long time. I actually started playing some Napoleonic Wars and some other things just because I was getting so bored with PW. Now, that all changed yet again with the reforming of the Saxonies. Now, I'm going to be honest, I completely underestimated the Saxonies. I didn't realise how big they were going to be. They could easily pull on 45 members in the first few days. I'm not really sure how many they could pull on now because it's been a while since we've had any good wars with them. They attacked us in our castle of Jelkala and we were not ready for them. We couldn't get members on quick enough because by the time we called banners, they were already at the front gate. Now, calling banners is basically putting loads of notifications out on the Steam group so people can get on. Obviously, it takes time for people to load up their games, sort out TeamSpeaks, etc, etc. And they did use a very good tactic, but I didn't really realise this at the time. They basically made it seem like most of their force was at that front gate. However, they built a ladder around the side and actually quickly got to our banner point with most of their force. So we had to fall back quickly, and then it descended into all-out melee on the banner point. We lost that melee, and we were defeated. However, we did not stop there. We asked the Lorraines for some help, as we wanted to get our gear back, and the Lorraines really wanted to fight as well. And it wasn't too bad in terms of numbers, no fairer than the Mercia and Lorraine siege that you saw earlier on in the video. Now, the king of the Saxonies, King Henry, is the ex-King's Hand of the Starks, and he was also known as Lucius back then. And naturally, this did cause quite a lot of tension between our two clans. So winning was absolutely paramount. We really wanted to win this attack. For this next war, you're going to be able to hear the leadership giving out the orders. And I think this is always good for you guys to hear because it just lets you know what actually is going on in the TeamSpeak while we fight.
Let's get to him. Go, get in there, guys, get in there. Guys that run the shield wall, crouch.
Go, keep pushing in, guys. Come on, get in there, get behind their shield, get behind their shield wall. Those are the spawn, just keep it. Guys, you need to jump onto the thing. Alright, nice, go. Keep jumping in, kick through him. If you get behind that shield wall, just hit them in the back. Hit them in the back once you get through that shield wall. Right, that ladder's up. Nice. Right, keep going there, keep going.
Brace your shields, smash it.
Nice, push up towards the banner, guys. Go, start clearing these walls. Go, right, someone with a banner, start capping. Someone with a banner, get to the banner. Right, start capping.
Sorry about that.
Just cover the swamp. Do not break the swamp, do not break the swamp.
Capping. Kick them back in.
Where's your teammates, guys? Right, so, right, go. Cap. Come on. Right, everyone up to the banner now. Come on.
So, it was a victory to the House Stark and the Kingdom of Lorraine in their coalition. Although it didn't end there, the Lorraines decided to go to the Saxony castle and spawn kill them, and we decided to join them. The Saxonies clearly didn't enjoy being spawn killed, and the Lorraines, being the Lorraines, decided to help them to attack us yet again. Most of the Stark levies had logged off, and we were left with only a few people in our faction, because these days levies make up almost half of our clan. So we decided to hold the keep roof, where we all used our two-handers in a meat grinder at the teleport door, which was the only way up, and they could only come through one at a time. However, the Lorraines and the Saxonies decided to glitch through the floor, which is against the server rules, but we're not going to talk about that, and actually hit us in the back, and it descended into quite a good fight. I really actually enjoyed it and didn't really mind losing my gear because of it. I mean, it was a lot more fun than doing absolutely nothing on the server. Since the battle you're seeing on screen now, we haven't fought the Saxonies again, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next time. It'll be interesting to see the outcome. So that's it, that's all the footage I have of Persistent World Wars, and there's definitely going to be more to come, because there's just so many clans kicking around on Persistent World at the moment. You'd think that this mod would be dying because Bannerlord's approaching, and the fact that it's been around for such a long time. But that is definitely not the case. Now recently I've seen a lot of new clans appear on the server. I've seen the Foresters, I've seen the Arryns that are a Polish clan and have some ex-Lannisters in it. I've also seen the Nightingales, amongst many other new clans, and it's always good to see you guys on the server. I think the main reason these smaller clans will refuse to actually come on Phoenix is the fear of actually being destroyed by the larger clans such as the Starks, the Lorraines, the Saxonies. But there's always non-aggression pacts and alliances you can sort out with these bigger clans, but obviously you'll be expected to help them out in fighting any wars they take part in. The organisation and the fun that you can have on Phoenix is absolutely phenomenal. I'm still very loyal to the server, and I will not forget everything that I've done on that server, and you're missing out. This is also calling out to other public players who don't want to be part of clans. There's usually a pleb faction that you can join, and they'll attack the bigger factions, or you can go into the Richfield village, for example, and do all your surfing, making horse stocks, etc. Anyway, that's everything I wanted to show and talk about in this video. Make sure to leave down in the comments your thoughts on this video in general. Also, if you're in a clan and you want to join on Phoenix and you want to ask questions or whatever, make sure to either email me if you want it to be more private, or just comment down below. I don't really mind. Also, there's one more thing. I'm considering trying to get all of the Phoenix clans from no other server, only Phoenix clans, into one event server using the map that I use for my subscriber battle against Arcade Knight, which includes sea battles, mini sieges, cavalry battles, etc. Obviously, this will be exclusive to Phoenix clans, and if you would like to join, make sure to check the link in the description to join my clan, the House Stark, which is a Persistent World clan. This will also allow you access to this event that I'll be setting up, and hopefully we'll see more of you guys in the Starks. This event could potentially be my 10,000 subscriber special, and it'll be a way of repaying the Phoenix clans and the Phoenix community for helping me all the way to this point. I mean, I started on Phoenix and playing PW, and now look where I am. It's absolutely insane. Again, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to happen because it'd be very hard to get all the clan leaders to agree and go on one server and have it admin, etc. So it possibly might not happen, and I'll definitely come up with other 10,000 subscriber special ideas. But if you do have any ideas for that special, make sure to leave them down in the description. Anyway, I've been talking for far too long now, and I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, and if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely brilliant day, and I will see you in the next one.